Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about lesson 13 in our Saxon 76. These are problems about comparing and elapsed time problems. All right, grab your notebook because these orange things that I've highlighted here are really important. You're going to want to write these notes down. When we're talking about comparing two groups in a word problem, you're going to see things like how many more or how many fewer. That is typically a subtraction problem. And we have a pattern here. We take the larger group, we minus the smaller group, and we find the difference. Remember, the word difference that we learned in a previous lesson means subtraction. So write that down. Okay, let's go ahead and do this practice problem, this example problem. There were 324 girls and 289 boys in the contest. How many fewer boys than girls were there in the contest? Okay, so what we want to do is we see how many fewer. So that is how many fewer. That is a phrase similar to what we were talking, how many more, how many fewer. We take the larger group and we subtract the smaller group. So we're going to say the larger is 324, 289. Okay, let's go ahead and subtract this guy. We got to borrow, so we're going to make that a 1 and that a 14. That's a 5. We got to borrow, so we're going to make that 11, 8, 9, 10, 11, 3. So there were 35 more girls, or there were 35 less boys than there were, I guess you could say fewer, sorry, less fewer, 35 fewer boys in order to answer the question. Remember, with a word problem, you always want to use a unit, so you want to make sure to be answering the correct question. Okay, so the next part for your notes are going to be this guy, elapsed time. Again, it is important that you write this down. Elapsed time, later minus earlier equals difference. It sounds kind of simple and basic, but it is vitally important when we do these problems. So you take the later one, you minus the earlier one, and you find your difference. So let us practice this with an example problem. How many years were there from 1492 to 1620? What we have to do is find the later one, which is the most recent, and then subtract it from the one that's further back. It's kind of confusing sounding, the later meaning closer to us, but we want to do 1620, and then we're going to minus 1492. Okay, 0 minus 2 I can't do, so I'm going to make that a 1 and make that a 10. So I get 8, and then 1 minus 9 I can't do, so I have to borrow. So I have 11 minus 9 is 2. And then 5 minus 4 is 1, and 0, 0. So there were 128 years between 1492 and 1620. Okay, so let's try this other example. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809 and died in 1865. How many years did he live? Well, this is how we compute your age, right? We take the current year that it is and we subtract the year you were born, and that is how old you are. So we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to take that year, 1865, and we're going to minus 1809. Now, we could do this the standard way, but I want to kind of show you a neat little trick. So we need to go from 1809 all the way up to 1865, right? 1809, let's go to 1810. That's 1, right? And 1810 is a nice friendly number. From 1810 to 1860 is going to be 50 years, because we take 10, and so we add 50, we get 60. And then from 60 to 65 is 5 more years. 50 plus 5 plus 1 would give us 56. Let's see if we're right. All right, 5 minus 9 we can't do, so we're going to do 5 and we're going to borrow from the 6, make that a 5. So 15 minus 9 will give us a 6. 5 minus 0 is 5, and then 8, 0, 0, 18 minus 18, so we get 56. So you can jump up if that's easier by finding some friendly numbers, or you can just do it the old-fashioned way and subtract like this. Either way, how many years did he live? It was 56 years. Okay, so let's take a look. For your practice problems, go ahead and pause the video, do these problems, and then come on back and let's see what you got. All right, friends, so here are the answers on the sides. For A, it's 7,328 more people in Castor, and for B, it was 149 years. If you did not get those, then stick around and let's see how to do this. 2,290 and 18,962. We're going to subtract these because the population of Castor is 26,290. The population of Weston is 18,962. How many more? How many more? That is the key to tell us that we need to subtract. So we're subtracting here, and we've got, I can't do 0, so I'm going to borrow and make that an 8, make this a 10. So 8, 6, so that's 2. I can't do that here, so I'm going to borrow. And so now I get 3, and then I have to borrow again, so I get 15 minus 8, which gives me 7. So we have 7,328 people, more people in Castor, because that's what the question is asking us. So you just reverse the question. So how many more? 7,328 more live in Castor. Okay, and then Castor, I can't spell today or any day really. Okay, how many years from 1066 to 1215? All right, so we're gonna do 1215 minus 1066. Okay, so if we look at these guys, we need to make that guy a 0, make this a 5. So we get 15 minus 6 would make it a 9. Make this a 1, make that a 10, we would get a 4. And then 1 minus 0, we get 1. And then 1 minus 1, we get 0. So there's 149 years. All right, friends, it's a pleasure seeing you again. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, great work, and we'll see you next time.